to go with this. So I like that people like lighting.
Did we start?
Huh? Yeah, this is
we're in it?
This is the
action.
The before. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Action. But like, I don't want to say like, see, because I want to say, but I think you knew. Yeah, you know, because you're not stranger to this. Action.
All right. Seriously. 2, 3.
So what I like is
that's the best. Feigning comfortability is my favorite thing ever. Action.
So I like that people like lighting, but what I don't like is that they're like, oh, what does this guy use? Like, let me use your affiliate link. And I understand the whole affiliate link. Like, so a little bit of backstory. Like, I've been watching more YouTube lately because I've been trying to kind of see more about YouTube, more specifically within the photographers of YouTube, and even more so, just the general vlogging in general, right? You are like the grandfather of vlogging. Like,
sure.
You invented the walk and talk. At
Amen.
least in
I'll be
my
dead
brain.
soon. That's what that means.
Yeah. You're almost dead.
Almost.
But I've been watching more and more of that stuff, and what I see is that everyone's just doing what everyone else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just always going to be a thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, that won't ever stop. Like,
well, it's so easy. All you need is an email address to have a YouTube channel.
But
so it's
more than that it's like the format. So I'm going to say I'm guilty. I followed the exact same format of speaking intro, animation with music with your logo, then a little bit of talking, B-roll, some more talking, B-roll, outro.
Okay.
That's the formula. It's a song, right?
Yeah.
It's a song. Like, here's the song. Here's a 4/4 in a major key.
Yeah.
With an intro, with a chorus, with a verse, with a bridge. Like, it's the formula, and you follow it, and people are like, yes.
You're the Savage Garden of photography.
Savage Garden. Yeah.
Welcome back to Chicka Cherry Cola with Steve Ball.
It's frustrating, but at the same time, it's sort of like, I could do that.
Yeah.
And it's cool that
that's what everybody thinks about everything.
To think like, I could do that. But then in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy a ring light. Mm-hmm. Everyone's buying a ring light. I see these makeup tutorials. They are all the same. It's the same. I'm going to hold it up to the camera. I'm going to tap on it, and then I'm going to do it.
I'm going to put my hand like this so it focuses. Because I don't know how to do manual focus, but I will do this.
Because I know autofocus will do it. I don't understand this camera. It's a weird thing, man.
That's the problem is people want to do the thing, and they want to be popular, but no one wants to be good at it. Right. Everyone wants it to look good, and they think if it looks good, then that is equal to it being good.
Right.
But it takes years. Nothing will ever change the fact that it takes years to get good at something, but no one wants to do that.
No.
Action.
It's one of those things. Oh, is that maybe too? Is that too high? No, it's not too high. I don't want to bring this down.
Are we peeking?
I'm just.
Do you edit this?
Yeah.
Leave this part in.
No, I don't. I mean, I do edit it, but I don't.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
edit it, but I won't touch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it, but I won't.
Sure.
Like, for the most part, I'll typically just like skip over parts.
Yeah. Also, I have to mention a couple brands.
You gotta do some plugs.
Just a
couple plugs.
I gotta get paid, so
you gotta pay those bills, dude.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, all right, hold on. Let me do an intro. Let me do an actual official intro.
Sure. Action.
Hey guys, welcome to the Steve Walter Photo Podcast, Season 1. Everything is art, and today we have with us Miguel Falzone.
Hello.
Hi,
Famous mariachi player Italian mariachi player Miguel Falzone.
Miguel.
And now you put a little nylon guitar in the background. You could do that.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I know how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just add a little audio track at the bottom. Just put it in there. A little fade in, fade out. Boom, done.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, that's cute. That's clever.
And then next thing you know, everyone's doing the nylon.
Everyone's nylon guitar. That's what Casey Neistat's doing. I'm gonna do that too. Yeah. That's what Neistat's doing.
It's so funny to copy off one person.
And then that formula is taken and repeated over and over and over. So the other guy, Peter McKinnon? And that's good. I'm glad that you said no.
I don't watch anybody else.
He's like the photo video guy.
Okay.
And he exploded, right? He gained a lot of following because
R.I.P.
Because Physically just
Yeah.
exploded.
That's heartbreaking.
And then there are people that are making videos. And here's the other thing that's weird, man, is there are people that are making videos talking about him just so that their title has his name as the keyword.
That's sad, right?
And it's sad, but it's also smart. It's such a weird thing that it's sad and it's smart. Like, it's dumb. Like, why would you do that? Well, you do that because of your agenda. I want people to find my stuff, and I want them to click, and I want them to follow me.
Yeah.
Like, that's the agenda. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
But it has frosting on it.
Yeah. And I like it and I don't like it. I like it that people are perceptive and they're like, oh, cool, I could do that. But I don't like it because it's like, why don't you just be you? Don't.
Because it takes time to figure out who you are, and people don't want to spend time
trying to develop your own style.
Yeah.
And the reason why I was going to bring up McKinnon and Neistat, because those are the two dudes.
It's also my favorite law firm.
McKinnon and Neistat.
McKinnon and Neistat. They do. They're injury lawyers.
Of course.
People fall off electronic skateboards.
I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, you gotta get that boost board, dude. You gotta get that boosted board.
It
bro.
looks like a cool thing, man.
It looks.
I have
it
nothing
looks,
against anyone. I just don't watch anybody.
No, and it's yeah, that's it. And I like it and I don't like it. I don't like cheesy catchphrases. Yet I have a cheesy catchphrase because it just kind of happened and it was like, oh, okay, I get it. Like,
yeah,
I get why you do that.
But it's nice. It works.
It works. But then it's you seeing all these other people doing it, and it just is so like. I don't know where I'm going with this. Okay. Basically, where I'm going with this is to say, I want to create content. I think I'm a creative person. I like to create. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to try to do it my way.
Yeah.
Right?
Great.
And you want to experiment with things, but also maybe follow the formula, but then break the formula.
But it's also like you've spent so many years of your life trying to perfect an art, you know? Like years before I joined YouTube in 2006. That's why I've never called myself a YouTuber, because I was a musician and an artist for 10 plus years before the website was even a website.
Right.
But so it's like, you know, we're in your photo studio and you didn't just spend money and decide to have a photo studio one day. But so now it's like you're trying to bring what you know to more people and just explore the best way to do that. And you know, do you swear on your, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can swear, dude. There's a little E for explicit.
Good.
There's a little capital E.
That'll cut your audience in half.
See, that's a whole, we got to keep the clean rating. I'm going to bleep that out now so we get, no, just say it. That's
no,
how
it doesn't
talk,
matter. It'll find whoever wants to see it.
Stupid.
But, shit. See, I swore and then I threw myself off kilter. I don't remember what I was saying.
I thought we were talking about me being a photographer in the studio. I was doing this stuff before.
Yeah, and now, okay, so it's your, you know, it's called like losing your influences. So even with stand-up comedy, when you start doing stand-up or start playing music, you just sound like whoever you listen to.
Right.
And then if you really want to be an artist and progress and develop your own style and put your own personality and clear point of view into it, it's like that's what takes the time to develop, and that's the hard part, because that's not just given to you. This other stuff, like anyone can watch a Casey Neistat video or the other guy McKinnon, the lawyer,
yeah.
And it's very easy to watch something and be like, I'm going to copy that, because that's what we've all done since we were little kids.
Right.
You know, I used to have boxing gloves. And I used to watch like VHS tapes of Sugar Ray Leonard and then go downstairs and put on boxing gloves and punch a pole. Doesn't mean I was a boxer.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But it's like now we'll take stand up. I was a musician and now I'm not. And I got sick a bunch of times and I've had all these life experiences and I'm 33 years old. And now through all these years, I've developed and keep developing my point of view and my voice, and now I could be artistic with that.
Right.
You know, I'm not just going to go watch Chris D'Elia and then come on stage and do all his cute catchphrases and talk about the exact same things that he talks about. Same thing with any of the, you know, comedians I watched growing up or whatever. You're that until you shed your influences.
Right.
But no one wants to do that. Everyone just wants to copy and then complain about why people don't watch their shit.
Right. And
action.
Action. That was well put. So, so I didn't give you a proper intro. I just basically introduced myself.
It doesn't matter. Do it in text.
So proper intro. Mike Falzone, as you kind of mentioned, right? You used to do music.
Yes.
You've been on YouTube since YouTube was YouTube, right?
January 2006.
You had like silly, like you were young in those videos. That was funny,
boy.
man. You had the
Puka beads.
the Puka bead,
The shell, conch
dude,
shell.
bro.
I was just like the most 22-year-old person that you
Straight
could
22-year-old, and you're like, cool, man. I got a 4x3, mini DV camera. I'm gonna record some stuff, man. This will be cool.
100%.
And you just put it on the internet. And you continued to do that for, 15 years now? Something
12,
like that?
whatever it's been.
Whatever the math is on that, because I'm not good at fast
2006 to 2018.
math. So that's to 8.
It's like 5 years.
It's 9 years, dude.
It's going on 5 years.
But you were, and I would still say you are a musician, right? But you were.
It's like being
you
an
were
alcoholic.
a touring musician.
Yeah.
It's never gone.
Yeah.
It's always in there.
Yeah, you give me a guitar, I'll drink it.
Right.
It doesn't change.
No.
Yeah.
So you toured shows, you recorded albums, like you've had a band, like you've gone through that, and you transitioned, and all the while you were sharing that on YouTube. But even before you were an official comedian, like you were doing stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, there were times before YouTube was a website where I was doing 300 shows a year, and most of them, I was set up pretty nice in college where there was a deli in Fairfield, Connecticut called the Chef's Table, and Rich, the owner of that place, just liked me a lot.
Yeah.
And he was like, you could play here every day if you wanted to. And I was like, well, don't say that.
Yeah.
Because I'll come down here every day. And then I did that. Every day I didn't have a show, I would do that and just play for 3 hours for no one who cared to hear it, really.
Right.
They just wanted to eat their lunch.
Just to do it.
But then... like I do a lot of crowd work in my stand-up act, and that all came from music. Like
100%.
People are like, "How are you so comfortable or so, quick?" And a lot of people are scared to talk to the audience because it's it's not really writing jokes. It's just kind of it's more up in the air. It's not really something you could duplicate every night unless you're like insanely comfortable.
Yep.
But I played years and years of shows to people who didn't give a shit if I was there or not.
Nothing to lose.
And you have to entertain those people.
Yep.
So that's where all that comes from.
And I remember that. I've been to many of your shows where you would do that. You would play a couple songs, and then you would do like a minute of just banter.
Yeah.
You would do a minute of just like, and then you would lead into this next song. And you always had these little like, just little jabs, little quips of things in between, or even in the middle of playing a song, you'd be like, yeah, that's not really appropriate, but I'm gonna do that. And then you keep singing like, so right. You sort of you sort of hone that craft. I don't know why I said harness, but you hone that craft.
Sometimes you harness.
And sometimes you hone.
Yeah.
But then taking that in delivering it to, videos that you would see, like being able to have the ability to cut stuff up and publish it. One of my and Sarah's, my wife's, favorite videos was when you did the Christmas one. What was that? What was the night before Christmas?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you read the story the night before Christmas, and you just tore it apart.
Yeah,
you just
well,
broke it down.
Sense. Yeah,
and you were like, "This is dumb."
Yeah,
and it was hilarious because it was just call it observational humor if you want, right? But it was just this is stupid.
Yeah,
and I was
next thing you know, everybody has a video tearing down the night before Christmas.
And what's funny is not too long ago I was listening to I was singing with my daughter, "Row, Row, Row Your Boat," right?
Yeah. Classic joint.
Merrily, merrily, merrily. Row, row your boat gently down the stream.
Yeah, isn't it funny how you have to sing the whole thing to memorize the words?
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, wait,
we're
what?
all living in a simulation.
Yeah. Wait, what? Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. It's like, that's a weird song, man. And then you start to I think about that, and then it made me think about that. I'm like,
that's how they wrote The Matrix. It was about that song.
Row, row, row your boat.
Yeah.
And all of these kids' songs. I don't know where I'm drifting all over the place, but
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. What I wanted to try to lead myself up into asking you was that creative process of you figuring something out and working it, as a comedian, right? So former musician, now stand-up comic, when you're writing material, right, how do you say it out loud? What's your process when you're like, hey, I want to come up with something, like something just happened to me. I want to work that. How do I work it? Whether it's a two-part question, whether it's something that you would put online or if it's something you would put in your show.
I used to, when I lived in Connecticut, you might remember this a little bit or you might not. I just had like a notebook with me at all times.
Oh, yeah.
And like I would, I forget what comes first, but I mean, everybody has ideas and it's so important to, if you have any ideas, like everyone has a phone with a notes application, you just, you forget 90% of the things you think about.
Yeah.
So if you think something's a halfway decent idea, just jot it down and that's kind of where it comes from. But once I knew back in the day where I was doing videos every Tuesday and Friday, I knew that it's like an assignment. It's no different than a school assignment or a job assignment. And I knew that I would have to have something. So it made me like extra observant. I'm like, I have to have something for Tuesday and it's Sunday. So I got to start looking around and I got to start.
It forced you to look for that stuff.
Yeah. And it forced you to, me to be present,
Yeah.
And I would go to this bar where my girlfriend, girlfriend at the time worked, and I would be just quiet in the corner writing stuff,
just observing.
Yeah.
And
it's really just holding yourself to a standard,
right. And it's making it call it a job, but you're giving yourself a project. It's saying that, going back to this idea of anyone could be on YouTube. Sure, anyone could be on YouTube, but you now have to have the commitment of, okay, cool, if I want a subscriber base, if I want a viewership, an audience, I need to be consistent. So I need to be observant, and I need to say, I got to write. It's like, you're your own boss.
Yeah, it's like, why would people give a shit about what you're making if you're not even going to keep a promise to yourself?
Right.
Right. Action. We should get started. I got to get going.
Yeah. Let's get into this. So what I like about the ring light is it's nice light. It's flattering.
Yeah.
But it's just overdone. The catch lights are just kind of weird.
But if you were watching someone film something with a ring light, but you really like the show, would it take you out of it?
No. But immediately I'm like, that's a ring light. And
then you're out.
I'm not out, but I'm just like, you just did what everyone else did. Like, why don't you get a softbox?
So no one can use a ring light.
I mean, they can. I've actually recommended. I have a woman that cuts my hair, and she was like, "Hey, I want to do pictures in the salon.
Yeah,
like I need some lighting. What should I get?" I was like, "Fucking ring light."
You know what's annoying? You'll appreciate this.
And it works.
Yeah,
it's good.
But that works perfectly.
It works perfect, and it works for her. And it's like
every salon should have a ring light.
Get a ring light
because your job is to make people look beautiful.
That's it.
And you want to take a picture, and you want to advertise that you can make people look beautiful.
And that's what it does.
Why would you not have a ring light? You should have a ring light before you should have a pair of scissors if you're a salon.
Probably
doesn't make any sense.
Just let people walk in.
Yeah,
just hold the ring light in front of them.
This is our ring light. Yeah. If you want to pay for a haircut, we could probably buy some scissors. But what gets my goat about the ring light thing is no one does a backlight. So that's the dumb part.
There's no separation.
Yeah.
So you need that 2 point.
At least.
2 point, 3 point is baller.
That's overkill for YouTube.
Probably.
No one cares enough. If you can't even keep a commitment to yourself that I'm going to put out a video every Tuesday, you're not going to get a 3 point lighting system.
You're not.
Even though it's the first one you learn about in film school.
That's it. 3 point lighting, dude.
Yeah.
Your key, your fill.
The backlight is so, dude, for years, and I do it now just to piss people off because I had years of people who were so pissed off. I would keep a very prominent backlight in the background. Extra bright.
It's there. It's always
extra abrasive.
Just a blue glowing.
Absolutely. So many people, I can't concentrate. Like, don't watch.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch the video.
But
my hair looks awesome.
Is right around this edge, though. Nice.
Can't buy that.
I appreciate that.
Get 2 ring lights. Put one behind you.
See, now that's an original idea.
Yeah. There you go. Steal that, everyone.
Two ring lights.
Yeah. Why am I talking so condescendingly to go ahead and steal that, everyone? Lord of the Ring lights. Look like the Olympics is always behind you.
Different gels.
But it's fun. You said something positive before that at least people care about lighting. At least they know, little victory. At least people know that things have to be lit properly to be attractive now.
And I am...
Before that, we all just sat in front of a window.
I am right. Well, and window light is still great, but I'm a huge advocate for good light. In the world of people that are capturing content. I'm all about good light and all about telling people like what's good light and how you get good light.
You can make a shitty camera look really good with
iPhone.
With good
you can
lighting.
make it look freaking beautiful. You give it good light, and it's just understanding where that good light is and how you can just start to see it a little bit more. Mike, I actually want to take a little quick commercial break.
Let's go ahead, and then after that, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Steve Walter, and I want to invite you to the latest lighting workshop that I'm hosting, Portraits on Location. In this class, we'll be outside on location working with off-camera lighting. Using available light is great, and sometimes you don't need anything more than a reflector or a diffuser to get the shot you want. But as a professional, you need to know how to control light. In this class, we're going to cover different modifiers and why you would use them. Softbox, beauty dish, shoot-through umbrella, even a hard reflector. Assuming you already know the basics, don't worry if you don't, I have a class on that too. We'll explore how to blend flash wherever you are. We'll not only discuss the why, but also explain how to complement or contrast the light in any given scene. Mother Nature does what she wants, right? You hope for a bright and sunny day, and then sure enough, cloudy and overcast. Well, with off-camera lighting, you can recreate that bright and sunny day, and I can show you how. If you guys have any questions about this class, please send me a message. And to sign up for the class, just follow the link.
I hope everyone liked that nice segue into a commercial for my lighting class. Basically,
if you could see us right now, it means Steve is good at lighting things. Do you want to also be able to see you? Take the lighting class.
Yeah, I have a light set up right now. We had light coming in. See, there's the backlight,
Yeah.
the hair light, boom. And that's gentle and that's soft and that's nice. It's
That's
subtle.
the light coming from the modem you're talking about?
Yeah, the flickering modem.
Yeah, good.
This big light that is not turned on, that's the light that's
but that's
hitting
set
us.
decoration. That hasn't worked in years.
That looks cool. So then people like subtly are like, oh, he's got a big light back there.
Oh, he definitely has. He
That
definitely
right
could
there.
teach me about lighting
Look at that softbox.
because he has that.
What is that softbox?
There's a small ring light underneath that softbox.
Imagine if I had a ring light in there.
Very funny.
So yeah, I that's the stuff I do. That's what I love doing. So obviously, yeah, guys, if you have questions, let me know.
It's very good.
So I want to circle back to you, right? I want to talk about some of our history,
Okay.
right? So we first met some years back through our family and friends at FTS Gallery.
Yes.
And we immediately connected and clicked because of content creation, right? Media, photo, video, all that stuff. We've done a whole lot of work together. A blast shooting weddings with you and just creating content.
We had a studio together.
We
and
shared a
there
studio.
are like 3 years of my YouTube channel that are shot in that studio. Some of the best years of my whole life.
So good, dude.
Greatest.
So good.
I was thinking about the Oh Hey Batman stuff from a while ago. Go ahead and insert a B-roll clip.
Hello and welcome to Oh Hey Batman, an internet video show where you tweet me your questions and I couldn't give less of a shit. Our first question comes from Jonathan Completo and he says, Oh hey Batman, do you have any pets? I have tons of pets. Pet peeves, like when your last name kind of sounds like the Spanish word for complete, but not really. Jesse E says, oh hey Batman, who's the second best superhero? That'd be me. I would say Superman is the best, but it's not even fun at this point. The guy can do anything. That guy is faster than a locomotive. Ain't bad. He can leap tall buildings in a single bound. I don't know why you'd want to do that. And why would you leap buildings in a bound when you can fly? It's like you just wrote it in. At this point, everybody knows that first is the worst, second is the best, third is the one with the hairy chest. Always uncomfortable in the summer months.
Yeah.
And the production level for that never got higher than when we discovered that elevator shaft.
Yeah.
There was nothing better. I've never done
it.
anything better than that.
That's it. That's
the
super
peak.
in the middle of the summer, super sweaty, not ventilated at all,
No.
wearing a mask and gloves.
Asbestos, drug addict landlord.
Yeah.
Shit water, literal shit water falling from the ceiling.
Shit water from
Them
the ceilings.
blaming it on us for having equipment underneath shit water
Yeah.
ceilings.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
You did this. But no, that was fantastic. And just I learned so much from you in that process. Like we were talking about before, like I remember the notebook that you had and you writing stuff down. I remember you recording Batman and like referencing the line and like saying it, okay, putting it down and then doing the line and then, hold on, let me do that again. And then doing the line and then seeing that. And I was just there like behind the camera, just watching that, seeing you do the process of here's one take. No, let me change that word a little bit. Here's another take. Very much like what you would see as like a behind the scenes of like a TV show. And it was like, oh yeah, like that's how you do it. Like you're not going to say it one take. I mean, maybe you will.
Not me.
I'm not. No.
Yeah.
I do my Tuesday. I do my Tuesday tips. I do my Tuesday tips, and all the time I'm like, and then I'm like, nope, not good. I gotta do it again. Nope, I flubbed that. I gotta do it again. And sometimes I'll leave those in, right? Because they're cute and clever. Like,
Look how human he is.
Right, he's human. He's not perfect.
Right.
But it's cool to see that process and just being able to progress as a creative and observe what you've done has helped me grow so much.
Dude, same thing with you. It's like watching you shoot stuff and watching you edit stuff has helped me immensely in the care that I take to make sure everything looks. You can make sure everything's in focus, and then you can make sure everything looks beautiful. And there's a drastic difference between that stuff.
Yeah, and I want to mention that. So for people listening and for people watching, it's, you know, when you're sharing this process with someone, when I think about like collaboration, it's not like it's not a me. It should be an us.
Yeah,
I guess is, and I've shared that before, but it should be an us thing.
Yeah,
a collaboration with whatever type of creative person it should be. It shouldn't be like, hey, I have this idea, let's do my idea. It's sort of like, hey, I have a concept, what do you think?
Yeah, and somebody who's like, in my opinion, drastically better than you at what they do, you know? So you could there's doing it just to do it, and then there's, you know, a lot of people collaborate for eyes, like, let me get your audience, you get my audience.
Right.
But then there's like, if I work with this person, it'll help me be better.
Yes.
And that it goes back to the first thing we were talking about. It's like your focus has to be, if you want to be a creative professional, if you just do it just to do it and get it up, like that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
You have to do it and surround yourself with people who are better than you and get as good as you possibly can at that thing.
Yeah.
So you could have some something to offer.
Let people well, hopefully surround yourself with people that are going to not only inspire you, but motivate you, challenge you, and inform you, right? And it should be, you know, I don't want to say it should be like a self-serving thing, but it almost should, in the sense, my point being is like, don't put yourself around people that you think for the wrong reason, like, oh, I'm going to be around this person because they're going to help generate content for me. It's like, I understand that sometimes that happens, right? Like,
It's never generate. Say what it is. It's never generate. I'm going to hang around this person because then I'll get more views on whatever
I'll get more views. I'll get more likes. Hey, I want to collab, quote unquote, collab with you. And these are just the terms. These are things that I hear.
I want everyone to know that I know you. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, it's such an obvious thing.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you look, oh, collabing with someone. You tap on their profile and you're like, how many followers? Oh, they've got 500,000 followers. That's why you collabed with them. And then you're like, well, why did they collab with you? What are you offering them? It becomes this, I don't want to sound negative. I don't, because I understand why people do it.
Eventually.
But this has been fairly just like ring light collabs.
But it's not all like that.
No, it's not.
Sneak the positive things at the end.
Yeah, just
action.
It's beautiful.
What were you gonna say? What were you gonna shit on, Steve?
So I was gonna shit on
negative bastard.
I was gonna be real negative about. No, I guess my point is, do it with purpose. Mm-hmm. Do it with genuine purpose. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're gonna work with someone and if there's a benefit for you in that, awesome. Like, there should be, in the sense of, don't put yourself around people that there may be like, oh, they'll help get me likes, but this person's kind of, I don't really like that.
No,
person.
go a step further and think about what you could offer first. And if you can't come up with an answer,
right?
Maybe it's time for you to develop what you're doing so you can have something to offer first.
See, look at you turn it around, professional.
Also, if you have a ring light, fuck you.
Throw that shit out.
What a horrible thing to
Get a
like.
softbox, dude.
That's it.
Get a softbox. Softboxes are way better than ring lights.
I don't know, but also like, I don't know, man. It's the same reason, like ease of use. You know, like
Yeah.
I have a couple different cameras, and one of the cameras that I use now is the little Sony, the vlog thing that pops up that everybody has,
RX100.
something like that.
Yeah.
And that's because I know that it's easier. Just having a point and shoot is easier when you're on the move.
Yeah.
You know, and ease of use thing. If you know that something has to be lit well, but you don't want to take the time to learn about why or exactly what you should do, or you know exactly the right way to do it, you know that other people buy this ring light and it looks good, then you do it.
And I guess that's right. It's the
But no one watches a video for the ring light,
no.
which is, you know, you have to develop a personality and a point of view and a skill set
See,
to
that's
be
bringing that
interesting.
around, right? Like what makes interesting, what makes an interesting video content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's content, the connection to that personality. Like, so you've shared with me something that I've carried with me and that I've preached for the longest time. And it's basically, if I can paraphrase, is, this is going to be good.
How to say Tuesday.
How to say Tuesday. How to slur your words in a cute and playful way.
Yeah. You're welcome. Reaction.
It's the raspiness.
Raspy.
And you have better rasp than I do, so like I have to really force it. You have like this nice
My
natural
friend Jeff
smoky.
Gadoo told me in high school, in front of the whole class, he goes, Falzone, it sounds like you've been speaking into a broken microphone since birth.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're not wrong.
I'm going to go carry that around with me for a little while.
But what you shared with me was that I'd rather have an audience of 100 loyal people.
Yeah.
Or whatever the number is, small number. I'd rather have a small loyal audience than a giant audience that doesn't really care.
Yeah.
To the point where like you've
Those
played
people
shows.
go away anyway.
They go away, or they're robots, or they're not. It's not real. They're not genuinely invested. So I'd rather have people that are genuinely invested in the things that I do. And for me at this point, it's connecting to a local community, a local audience, right? Obviously, if that can become larger, why not? Because we have the ability to do that. But when you know that you can directly connect with a small loyal audience, that's going to be way more rewarding than this giant thing of oh, look at me. And I think that's almost what would allow you to kind of, in my mind, that's what like, oh, now it's in my head. Like I got 1 million followers. So like now I'm this entity. It's like, no.
Yeah, but then now what?
Right. It's nothing. It's nothing. It really is nothing. If I can connect and inspire 50 people, like I'd rather do that. And if I can say, hey, 50 people, here's this thing that I'm doing. I would love it if you would come support me, or I would love it if you would help me do what I want to do because you genuinely are invested in me, investing in you. That's way more beneficial.
Yeah.
Right? That like I
It's
don't
just nice
need
to be genuine and to make things from a genuine point of view rather
Right.
than like I mean, it's all self-serving to a certain point.
Sure.
But
Right.
it can't be completely that.
It can't be, and I think that's it. Is there is that fine line, right? Because like I'm doing this because, right, knock down the fourth wall, right? Like this is marketing. This is
Yeah.
me. I'm doing a podcast not only because I want to talk to people, because it's something that I've genuinely just said. Like I like talking to people. I have good conversations. I'm like, damn, I should record that. And then in my mind, it's like, oh well, business. Like, well, this is marketing, right? So I can create some content that I can then produce for people, right? And this should be no surprise to anyone listening or watching, right? It shouldn't, but it's. Okay, well, is it genuine? Is Steve
Yeah.
genuine? Is Mike genuine? I mean,
The answer is no.
Action.
Actually,
See, I did it this time. But it's right. It's genuine in the sense like you hear me just shitting on things that are coming to my mind. Like I'm not going to sit and be so.
you're also this is the most gentle shitting on anything that's ever happened. It's
Yeah, well, because I don't
you're
want
not
it to
lashing
be,
out.
I don't want it to be a shit fest because
No,
nobody
it's-
likes that.
it's
I mean,
not
people
that.
like that though. What's interesting is people like the conflict, they like contrast, they like drama.
They just
We
like when you feel
love
something.
drama.
As long as you genuinely feel that,
Right.
Maybe it's not wrong.
Fuck ring lights, dude.
Yeah, fuck ring lights.
I actually don't mind a ring
I would
light,
get
really.
one in a second.
Yeah, they're fucking cool. Bi-directional, bi-color, like dimmable. Like they're
Yeah.
really nice. You get a nice big one, diffuse it. It's
Just
great.
get a backlight.
Yeah.
Just don't get the one thing.
I want
you
to
know?
do that now. Does anyone have 2 ring lights I could borrow?
What's the point of having 2 ring lights?
Set that. Well, you do one in the front, you do one in the back.
Like directly behind you, like a halo at all
Halo,
times.
freaking halo.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Angel vlogging.
Angel vlogging, dude.
Yeah.
You just come. You have to. Your catchphrase is just.
Yeah, it is the chorus.
Yeah, it's. I was gonna try to sing Tuesday Tips, but I'm not gonna do that.
Tuesday tips.
Tuesday Tips. Look at you, see, musician. You can't stop it. It's always there, dude. Drink that
Always.
guitar.
It's weird that I don't really have the desire to play. I miss certain specific things. I miss being loud with my friends.
Yeah.
You know, but aside from that, I really miss searching for tone and like messing around with pedals and stuff like that. And I had some pedals that I really fell in love with right before I stopped playing. I had a Blue Sky by Strymon, and I had a really cool tape delay that I got from some boutique shop. And it's just beautiful stuff. And then I just kind of fell out of love with it. And when you're talking about, like, it's tough to fake it once you fall out of love with it. And the reason I went so hard into comedy is most of the catalyst from that was getting really sick a couple years ago. And then, you know, I'm sure a lot of it's self-serving, and, you know, you need the attention or whatever, and it feels good. It feels good to have people laugh at what you say. But also one of the deeper things behind that is I always think about wanting to make people who are at all different stages of like mental health and emotional health in their life. I always want to make everybody feel better than I felt the months when I was in the hospital with a blood clot or with kidney stuff or whatever. So it always comes back to that. Like there's a genuine need to make people who maybe aren't feeling great, even if it's just like, oh, I woke up and it's Monday and I don't really feel like going to work. Let's watch this video before we go to work. It's part of doing the morning show that I do now, which never comes out in the morning because it's too much. Yeah. These shoes are Saucony, just in case a million people see this video and they want to send me shoes.
Affiliate link down below.
These are ripped a little bit, so I don't know if Saucony's watching.
Is it Saucony?
I think it's Saucony.
Is it Saucony?
I thought it was Saucony, but
Saucony?
then I was wrong.
Or maybe Sassoni?
I think it's Sassoni.
Sassoni.
Sassoni PlayStation.
It's he took it from me.
Sorry.
It's a Sony camera. It's a Sony camera. Yeah.
I like it.
Mike in the Morning. So you've done. I mean, I keep coming back to you talking about you on YouTube, but you're deeper than YouTube. But
well, I'm your podcast guest, Steve.
But you're my podcast guest. That is where is it? It's on YouTube. Even that, it's like, oh, I'm making a podcast. It's like, yeah, I'm making a podcast. This is my podcast.
Yeah, that's such a new podcast thing. You got to get over all that shit.
Yeah.
The second you decide to make a podcast, you can't talk about. I hate this conversation. You can't talk about it while you're doing it.
You can't.
And
is that not a fourth wall thing?
It's just like you're already doing. No one wants to hear you talk about doing it because you're doing it.
You're doing it.
You know,
like if you were driving down the highway, you'd be like, guys, this is cool. We're driving down the highway.
Yeah, look at us driving.
Dude, I'm doing 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Isn't that neat?
Dean Del Rey has the joke that he did last night about being in an Uber, and his Uber driver turns around and he goes, all right, we're almost there. He's like, yeah, it's my house.
Yeah, I know.
We're almost there. Dean Del Rey. Go at Dean Del Rey.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
So we saw you, me and a bunch of other people saw you perform at FTS last night, and that was fantastic. And it was cool. That spot's awesome because it's very intimate.
It's beautiful, man. I used to play music shows there too. That's where I met my wife, doing a music show there. Half music, half comedy when I was in the the transitional stage. I
remember you had a white MacBook up on stage. You were reading tweets. You were reading live tweets.
Yeah,
I remember that. That was great. That was fantastic.
Tweets from up close where we used to go.
Tweets from up close. And then you would also, people wrote down
the question jar I stole from Mike Doty.
Yeah.
Speaking of stealing stuff.
You got to steal stuff.
He did years of this tour where him and his cellist would go around and he had a fishbowl of stuff, and he would collect anonymous questions from the audience, and then he would just answer them in between songs.
Yeah.
And that's crowd work.
It's crowd work.
Set list show.
And I love that you do that. Like you were saying before, we were talking about you doing music, and crowd work just kind of came naturally. And it's funny how, so I'm going to talk about the show from last night if I can. There are moments where like you just start with banter. You just start with, and then you're like, I haven't even told any jokes yet. Yeah. And that's funny. People think that's funny because the wall's been broken down. Or even you were telling a joke. Oh, I forget which one now. And your reply was, well, I thought that was going to get a bigger laugh than it did. Those moments are interesting because years ago you didn't do that. You would just plow through it. Oh,
Yeah.
that didn't get a laugh. I'm gonna just keep telling let me just go to the next thing. But now calling attention to the fact that it wasn't funny, that gets a bigger laugh than the joke.
I think it's
Is
so
that annoying?
No, no, because at the end of the day, you get a laugh.
You just
whether
need a
it's
laugh.
cheap layered or
Doesn't
not.
matter, right?
But there's a couple things. Crystalia said something very recently about bombing,
Yeah.
and I think there's a certain point in your comedy career where you stop bombing in a traditional sense, and the only way that you bomb is to be afraid, like genuinely afraid about bombing. And now I don't give a shit.
No,
like there are a lot of
you don't.
times last night where it's a Connecticut crowd is not necessarily used to seeing stand-up comedy. There's only like a handful of places where you could see it, and it's not really close to where we were at.
Right.
And then it's not in a comedy club. It's in a tattoo shop / art gallery. So people
Yep.
get real tight. They laugh for a second,
Yep.
and then it gets real quiet, and they kind of don't know how to act.
Right.
And where most people would feel very uncomfortable with that,
Yeah.
I'll just sit in the silence. Like
Right.
I used to play this place called the Formosa Cafe a couple of years ago in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's since closed down, which is very sad because it's like a historic place.
Oh,
but the booker gave me a lot of shows, and I so many that it was a blessing because I can go up there and do whatever I want, no matter how obnoxious it was.
Yeah.
And I would tell him, I'm like, TK, I'm going to do 2 jokes. You're giving me 7 minutes. I'm going to do 2 jokes tonight.
Oh, no.
And I would do something and then just sit there and just make everybody else feel weird. And I think I like the crowd work thing so much. One, because it comes very natural to me and I love
Yeah.
talking to people. But it also, people know when you're just reciting stuff. The best comedians ever, like a Jerry Seinfeld or, Louis C.K. back when it was okay to like him outwardly. It was like they deliver their material in such a way where it always sounds like it's coming off the top of their head. They're not reciting it.
Right.
And so many comedians fall into this sing-songy, repetitive kind of cadence. And then that it's like they wrote it 5 years ago. It's like, my family did this. My family, and it's very like. So I was walking the street the other day, and I saw someone, and he was smoking weed, and I'm like, where's the weed?
Right.
Where's the weed? And then people know that you're just reading it off the back of your eyelids.
It's a formula. You're following that very structured formula, and even to the point where, I'll call myself. I think the phrase is student of comedy, where I don't practice comedy, but I like understanding a joke. I like understanding comedy. I like understanding, a setup, the delivery, the punchline, and then how do you then bring it back? Or even just understanding, like a good callback. Good callbacks are fantastic.
Action.
Let's go. Case in point. There's been a couple.
It never stops.
There's been a couple. I know it doesn't. And that's what's cool too, man, is that so I probably
I
shared
really
this with
liked
you.
what you were saying, and I destroyed your momentum
No,
with
it's
my
fine.
callback, with my fantabulous
But that's what it
callback.
was. That was basically my point. It was talking about callbacks. You and one other person, my cousin Ryan. I think I've shared this with you. You and Ryan are the 2 people that will just make me laugh about anything. Like
that's great.
you just say stuff, and it's like, that's freaking hilarious, man. And it's because you're always on, but not always on to the point where like, all right, Mike, we get it. Like, we get it. You're Mr. Funny Man. It's like you have an understanding of yourself enough to be like, hold on, let me tone it down a little bit. Let me let some other people talk. But then like, oh, I got something good. Hold on, I'm going to wait for it. And then zip, and you toss it in there. It's like, that's freaking funny, man.
Well, you ever listen to a podcast where people are just talking over each other the whole time? Or a lot of the morning shows do it. That's one of the reasons why I have a morning show now.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to make fun of how obnoxious morning shows are. Because
Yeah.
every morning show host thinks they know so much, and they really don't know anything. They're
and they need
just
that
very
time. Yeah, Mike,
likable.
it's like, well, what I'm going to say is more important than what you're going to say.
It's terrible.
It's
and
bad.
it's infuriating.
Yeah.
And it takes just as much skill to recognize the spaces in between.
Timing, space.
Yeah.
Just like music.
One of the coolest things I ever heard from the woman who taught me how to do stand-up comedy. Her name is Christine O'Leary, and she ran a workshop out of
Ridgefield Playhouse.
Ridgefield Playhouse.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You filmed my
Yeah.
You filmed the whole show, or you
debut.
just filmed my last
I did
thing?
the whole show.
Okay.
As I recall.
I graduated from this that's mine. I graduated from this this workshop, and Steve was there to film, and you could see a little bit of that on YouTube. My Justin Timberlake thing is from there. But one of the things that she told me years later, it's like I'm not sure what her exact position is at the Playhouse, but they'll have, amazing comedians come there, like Sinbad will come there.
Yeah.
And, I think Gary Shandling used to do it when he was in town. And, all the celebrities that have Connecticut houses now because they've done what they're going to do.
Right.
So she was telling me Sinbad and Tracy Morgan, they were like being ushered from the airport, or they picked them up from somewhere. And eventually they were just talking and going back and forth, and she wasn't trying to be funny or anything. And at the end of the conversation, they were like, "Are you a comedian?"
Yeah.
She was like, "Yeah, why do you say that?" And Tracy Morgan or Sinbad was like, "Because you haven't tried to crack a joke yet." And that's like the number one indication. It's like, if you're in there with a bunch of comedians and you're trying to like get your shit in,
right,
they know that you're just, there's nothing worse than somebody trying to be funny, and there's nothing better than
it.
somebody who's just funny.
That's interesting. You're right. And so this whole podcast, right, is everything is art, right? So comedy is clearly art, right? There shouldn't be any question about that, right? Making the art of making someone laugh, right? Stand-up comedy. And it's the people that, "Oh, you're real funny, man. You should do stand-up." It's like, well, okay, sure. I might be able to crack a couple jokes here in the office by the water cooler, right? That's like the stereotypical scenario, but it's true. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, "Dude, you're so funny. You should do stand-up." It's like, no.
Yeah.
No, I know that I can be funny in my immediate family. Me personally, like I know that amongst my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, like I can crack a couple jokes.
Yeah.
I get some laughs, and I'm like, cool, Steve's funny. I start going outside of that scenario. Nope, not funny anymore. I'm standing next to you. Nope, not funny anymore. Although
That's
you
not
do,
necessarily true.
do inspire me to be funny.
That's great.
You inspire me to want to be like, oh wait, I want to say something funny too. I want to be funny. But I
just
also,
like you inspire me to be a better photographer and make things look better.
See,
Always.
it's that symbiotic energy.
Symbiotic energy.
Like the Venom in Spider-Man, some symbiotes, symbiotic, and it just wraps around you in black, leathery plastics, and you can now eat people's faces.
It's beautiful.
It's great, and it's cool because it's a real thing, that energy. But back to that point of like, you're a stand-up comic in a room of stand-up comics. It's like
open mic.
How do you like approach knowing that place, right? Because it's like you're standing, like if I'm a photographer standing next to another photographer, I'm not like, dude, look at this cool picture I took. They're like, okay,
but
look
if
at
you're
this cool picture I
confident, you
took.
don't need to say, look at this picture.
Exactly.
You're like, if you want to see my cool pictures, you can. Otherwise, I'm here and doing my job.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Confidence.
It's like I could hang out with people, and I see it at all levels, and I don't fault people for it because I've been in every position. I've definitely tried to get my shit in with stand-up comedians just because that's what you think you're supposed to do. But you get to a certain point and you either have to believe that you're good or you'll never believe that you're good. And then you're like, well, I deserve to be here as much as anyone else because I put in my time and whatever. And it's not, no one's out to get me or whatever. And I'm either going to stay here because I'm good or I'm going to leave because I'm going to quit.
Right.
That's, you don't owe anything to anybody.
That's interesting. I'm glad you said that, right? Because it's just confidence. Like anything else, man. It's just the confidence to know
it's anyone
who you are, what you're worth, and what you can create.
It's anyone who's always wants to talk about what they're doing and how important all the shit is that they're doing and look at me. Like that's just, it's a mask. You're just screaming.
You know what that reminds me of in high school? When like you'd show up to a party and dude's like, "Yo, what's up, man? Where you been, dude? I had like 4 beers already. We smoked a joint.
About how many beers you had?
Dude, I had like, I can't keep track." It's like, you know exactly how many beers you drank.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you can't keep track. If you can't keep track, you'd be passed out on the floor.
You drank 7 Natty Ices? How does that translate to?
Why do I care?
No one cares. That's the thing.
I can just be drunk and I'll be like, this guy's drunk.
Yeah.
I don't need to know what you consumed.
Yeah.
I don't need to know your credentials. Like I'll find it. I'll discover that on my own.
It's just
like,
a cover up for something else.
Right. It's the
Be
insecurity.
confident in your drinking is what we're saying.
That's it. Like if you just drink.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's okay.
Yeah.
Just drink a lot.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You
You don't need to tell
just
people.
drink a lot.
Just drink a lot. And then your confidence will go up. So
Yeah.
it's kind of connected.
But it's all fake. And don't drink and drive. And stop drinking. My friend Rory told me once in college that it wasn't even that any of the things that I said were funny. It's just that I had perfect timing. And I was like, fine.
That's great. So my buddy I was telling you about before, Tom, musician, everyone knows Tom. If you don't know Tom, you should know Tom.
From MySpace.
From MySpace. Yes, of course. That Tom. Different Tom Lavery. But he is definitely a student of comedy. And he's a funny guy, right? To the point where he has such an understanding of timing. So I used to work with him. We'd be in the break room. And there would be these moments of he would wait for the moment, say it, get a huge laugh, and he'd be like, fuck yeah, I got that. And I would talk to him about that. I'm like, dude, that was good timing. He's like, yeah, I know. I had to wait for, like, people were kind of talking over it. And there were other times when I would hear him, like, he would try to do it, and someone would talk over him. He's like, missed opportunity.
Yeah.
You can't do it again.
Let it go.
You can't do it again, even though
Yeah.
you want to. And I know I've been guilty of that. It's like, I said a funny thing, and people are like, yeah, we heard you.
Yeah.
We didn't laugh.
I made the same mistake last night where I remembered something that I wanted to say, but I had moved on from the topic.
Yeah.
And like that's an old not Bill Burr. What's his name?
Yeah, Bill Burr. He talks real high.
Bill
Come on,
Burr.
Mike. Mike. What are you doing? Get out with the joke.
I'm angry about everything. What's his fucking name? He passed away. His stand-up comedian was always so angry and sweating at all times.
Oh.
Not Sam Kinison. I'm gonna remember as soon as we shut the camera off. But he was always like, if never go back.
Don't go back. Because that's not a callback. That's just a missed opportunity.
No, you should never have to say like, okay, remember when we were all here together as a group of people? Let's go back there for a second.
Yeah. Remember when you guys were like in a good place and you were going to laugh? I'm going to tell you something. You're going to laugh real hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's an art form for sure. And there is that formula, but then there's I just understood art. It's a formula plus style. That's art.
Yeah.
There's rules, right? Follow those rules.
Yeah. And your style and your point of view.
But your style is what's going to allow you to break those rules with intention.
Yeah. They tell you, I went to not a workshop, but like a panel discussion in Santa Monica that was put on by Comedy Central. And they were talking about how they find people and how they give people half hours and hours. And they're like, more than anything, more than how funny you are, like it all factors in. But it just matters that you have a strong, clear point of view. And you can't fake that.
No.
You can't copy that from somebody else. You have to live life, and you have to figure out how you feel about life, and you have to figure out where your lines in the sand are and how you feel about everything that life has to throw at you.
Yeah.
And once you figure that out, then you could start to like, it's just talking to other people about how you feel about this thing that we're all going through.
Right, because I think at the end of the day, there's going to be at least something that people will connect with.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's a human thing, you're not the only person who feels like you do.
Right. And I think those are usually the things that, people are like, oh, that's funny because I go through that too.
Yeah.
I know exactly how you feel. You just framed it in a way that I was thinking, you just said it.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, as far as saying like, okay, you're going to share your personal experience. Maybe I didn't go through that, but you're now presenting it to me in a clever way.
Yeah.
In that formulaic way, but it's your experience.
And it touches on certain things, even if it's not the same thing. I think there are certain shared experiences like, oh, you felt that when you were doing that. I felt this way when I was doing that. And that reminded me of that. And,
Yeah.
There's also like some trickery, and it's like being a magician. And it's like if you, that's why I was always taught to talk about how I look as soon as you get up on stage, because for the first 30 seconds, it's like they're not even listening to anything that you say, really. They're just kind of looking at you, especially if they don't know who you are.
Right.
And
so just put that out there. Boom.
Judging you and stuff like that. And if something you say matches up with something that they say, they'll be like, oh, this guy gets it from my perspective.
Right.
So now I'm going to listen to the next, 5 minutes of what he has to say.
Interesting. Right. And that's where there's like, call it a strategy or call it just a, strategy.
It's not just one thing. Like there's, it's a very cute thing when people say you're funny, you should do stand up.
Yeah.
And it's fun, and that's a positive thing, and that's real nice.
great.
And you might change somebody's whole life.
Yeah.
What people don't understand is the sacrifice and everything that comes with that. Moving 3,000 miles away from, everyone that you love so you could pursue something.
Actually do it.
Yeah. And everything goes away. All these relationships kind of decay, and it's, how strongly do you feel about your art to do it, or do you just want to be funny sometimes?
Right.
And there's, a million things in between this and that.
Yeah.
But it is art, and it never stops. You think about and talk about photography all the time. And that's such a good indication of whether or not you're meant to do something. It's like me and my comedy friends will just get together and talk about joke structure and try to improve each other's stuff all the time. And it's like, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
You could just
Talking
lock
shop,
yourself
dude.
in a room, and it's like no time passes at all. It's just you get in there, and it is talking shop.
It's just
like guitar players and talking about pedals and different guitars.
That's
and
it.
Car people talking about car stuff.
Everything
It's
is
like,
art,
that's what
dude.
you love.
That's talking shop is it's just your craft. Like, I'm not a sports guy, but when guys are talking about stats, like, I don't know if there's necessarily an art to that. Maybe there.
I mean, you have to do something to get the stat. You have to hit a round ball with a round bat to get
So I
the
guess
stat.
that's an art form, right? Pitching. I would call it an art form.
Yeah. Pitching is definitely an art. Pitching is a lot like stand-up.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever pitch?
No.
Dude, you need to trick another person into like getting them to do the reaction that you want them to do.
Oh, I got you. Right. You're setting them up for your punchline, which is hopefully a strikeout. Mm-hmm. Okay. I see what you did. This
Action.
guy.
Let's start this up. I gotta get going.
That was a callback.
Yeah.
That's a callback.
That's too many. That was one too many, I
That's a
think.
callback. Where does that come from? Callback? You're just calling me back?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not really a student of
You
comedy.
don't
I
dive
know
into
where
the
it comes
history of
from.
that stuff? No, I don't.
I don't know
Sometimes I
anything
give a shit.
about-
Sometimes I don't.
I read books, but I forget a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, you don't need it. You got YouTubes and ring lights. Dope. So let's go. I'm going to take some pictures of you. Dude, thank you so
Thank you.
much for being here, coming on here, making time, because I know that when you come to visit, you're on such a tight schedule
I'm
always. And the
usually in
fact
the
that you were
hospital.
also in the hospital. Hey, bro, I hope everything well. You still coming over to podcast?
Yeah.
Like, I know you had, like, kidney stones. Like, is that cool? Like, you know, if you got to pee real hard, like, that's
good.
fine. We can take
You
a
got
break.
You got a urologist in this building, so
That's
I'm
right.
okay.
Right. But yeah, this is great. So obviously I'm going to put links to all of Mike's stuff, all of his main stuff down in the description below with our affiliate Saucony links to my lighting workshop, the things that I do. The things that we do. Tom, thank you to Tom for creating the music. And
I can't wait to hear it, man. What was that genre of?
Future bass.
Future bass.
Future bass. Yeah. So for those listening, it was in the intro of this video because that's now my new thing.
Nice.
It's so cool. Like
Yeah.
it's trendy, but I like it.
Yeah. I mean, things are trendy for a reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad things trend,
Yeah.
but like there was, we shouldn't even talk about it because I don't know the name of it or I don't know any details, but I was,
there's this thing.
There's this thing, you should check it out. It's this, it was like, it's like spacey stuff with like very chilled out, very minimalistic hip hop beats behind it.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like you were saying.
Oh, yeah.
And it sounds very similar.
Ginseng is the artist, I think.
I don't know.
I'm going to play it
it's
and you're going to be like, oh yeah, that guy.
Probably. I don't know if it was one particular artist,
Okay.
but it was like a live stream that students could put on, like college students or high
cool.
school students, where it's just like awesome, chilled out music to like study to or to do
Yeah.
homework to. And it's awesome.
I'm into that stuff.
I remember Rob Dobie showing me L1011, and he was like, "Yeah, I draw to this stuff all the time." Just
On Spotify, there's a playlist, Brain Food.
brain food.
Check that out. Dope.
Yeah,
Love you, Mike. Give me a
I
little
love you
hand
too.
on. Thank you.
lefty.
Lefties.
Yeah.
Lefties.
Dude, it's great being back here with you. Seriously, the time that we had together in that studio in Stratford was the best.
Agreed.
And I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was so much of a foundation of like between you and George of just being like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
We're very lucky
Fuck yeah.
to have so many unbelievably creative people Like and like you said before, it's not even friends. It's like very much a family dynamic.
Yeah.
We would all do anything for each other. And I think that's kind of like that's a very Stratford thing as well. If I can shout out
Strat City,
baby.
Woo.
But
Sterling
yeah,
House.
man, thank you for having me.
Sterling House. People lose Sterling House. Goody Bassett. Woo.